Yo guys, and welcome to another Dark Rain video. Going to be showing you another primal fight today. This time we are scrapping the God of Thunder, Ramuh. Now this guy is also an iconic based character from the Final Fantasy series, and this time you're scrapping him. He is no longer an ally. And if I am perfectly honest with you, this was my first run of this, like all the videos I've shown to you so far, but in this one I just didn't have a clue, just not a clue what was going on. I mean, every now and then there's an AoE that's put around me that sort of chases me, and I just thought, well, if that goes off in a second, perhaps I don't want to be near any of my allies, so I used to just run away. But everything else, I just have no idea what's happening. I know he spawns ads and the ads have got to die, but other than that, I'm literally just pumping out heals. I have no clue what is happening in this fight at any time. So if any of you out there have any top tips for me on how to just, what's going on mechanics wise in the hard mode version of this, that'd be great. If not, I'm sure it's fine. I mean, I seem to bimble along through it anyway without any massive problems. But shortly after this I unlock the extreme version of this, which is the next difficulty up. I think it's extreme, and I think the one after that is savage, which makes it obviously even harder, but I have no experience in those two and how they run. But yeah, if you guys know anything about this one, just feel free to share, man, because I haven't got a clue. So I did my classic thing, sipped up and started pumping out heals, and the heals I'm pumping out in here in particular, yeah, I'm probably doing a bit too much in terms of healing. I'm probably over healing a tad. So what I try to do to knock that on the head as much as I can is I try to dot things. I try to put a damage over time on something using Aero 2 and Aero. Now I appreciate those two spells don't do a great deal of damage, but they are doing damage. They're still contributing to the DPS board, and whilst I'm stood around waiting for mechanics to happen and waiting for people to take damage so that I can tidy it up, I can always put those dots down and I've not got to worry about them. The thing with contributing to the damage board as a white mage when you don't know what's going on is it's risky. I mean, you can do it straight off the bar using Stone 2, but it is very weak. It's very weak. In order to boost your damage, you have to go into like a DPS mode, which is called Cleric Stance. Now, again, it's just a bit risky, because if you need heals now, you've got to go into your bar, turn off Cleric Stance, and then get the heal off. So I prefer, when I don't know what's going on, like this damn thing here, I just sit back and wait for people to need heals. Otherwise, you're dancing around with Cleric Stance, you're not pressing it too many times, you reactivate it, your heals are weak, people die, and everybody blames you. Which is fair enough, because you're the one that's panicked, you're the one that's arsed around with your DPS mode, and that's why people are dead. So I do my absolute best to avoid those sorts of things at all times. Yeah, this thing's just, don't get me wrong, this is a really pretty primal fight, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's just that I was 100% carried by this group. Now that I've done some of the other primal fights a few more times, and I'm starting to learn the phases, the various phases of the fight, where it's safe for me to switch on DPS mode and pump out some extra hurt and contribute to the whole raid's damage. Now the good thing about that is that the primal runs are a little shorter, and you devastate things more quickly, obviously. But the thing is, the raid or the primal fight, certainly in the hard modes, will not fail. Even the story ones, they won't fail because you're not attacking. I think later on in the game, when you're doing things like extreme levels and savage levels, you get things called DPS checks. So you have to put out, as a raid, a certain amount of damage in a certain time period. And if you don't, the raid fails. Now in those sorts of situations, you probably absolutely need to do that. See what I mean? I've got these two beams going between me and this other character that suggests we're linked. And I wasn't sure what they did. I weren't sure if they blew up these little electric balls that are floating around or whatever. I honestly couldn't figure it out. And as I was running around trying to figure it out, people were dying. So I had to stop what I was doing, stop arsing around and punch some heals out. I also had to go doing Ramuh on my Dragoon melee DPS, and whilst it was a shit ton of fun, I found it much more difficult because there's lots of AoEs for me to avoid, and I get caught in them a lot because I'm trying to concentrate on my Dragoon rotation, which has got like 20 powers in it. So that's an absolute fucking nightmare. I'll upload that for you guys at some point. Thanks a lot for watching. We are Dark Rain, and as always, we'll see you in game.